Well, hello everybody. This is Mac, and we are solving proportions, and this is version C. I have a version A and a version B, which you can use for more practice. And if you want to see anything more on math or how to find those version A's and B's, you can go to maxtutorials.com. And I have PDFs of these, which you can take, you can print. My suggestion is you work these out on your own, and then just kind of recheck with the video. And if you get some answers wrong, just you know watch me do them. And you can always scroll to the very end of this video and you can use that as an answer key. Just screenshot that and check that with your work. All right. And again, if you can like and subscribe, it helps me out, helps me to make more videos for you guys. All right. So we talked about in version A and B and in the video that I made that we cross multiply when we see the equal sign. If this is a multiplication problem, we do not cross multiply. Okay. So make sure you know the difference. Now, when I see any kind of arithmetic, I have to use a parenthesis because I want to make sure that when I multiply, you have to multiply everybody. Okay, so that's going to be a 4 times x, and it's going to be a 4 times a negative 2 to give me that negative 8 and equals 48. Now I'm just down to a two-step problem. If you're comfortable with these, I'm going to go nice and quickly through there. If for some reason you're not quite there yet, that's okay, no big deal. If you go to maxtutorials.com and go to Unit 2, I do a lot of these problems. I have a whole section on it. Ooh, don't know what I did there. Okay, and on that whole section, you can learn how to do these problems and get real comfortable on them. Okay, let's go ahead and go to number 2. 6 parenthesis x plus 3 equals 60. Boom, boom. 6x plus 18. Don't write down 3. 6 times 3 is 18 equals 60. Now I'm going to subtract my 18 from both sides, and that'll give me my 6x equals 42. And hopefully we're all good with our multiplication tables, and we know that x is going to equal 7. Okay, let's go on to number 3 over here. Cross multiply when you have an equal sign. 3x equals negative 63. And then when you divide everybody by 3, how do we do that? Well, negative divided by a positive is a negative. 3 goes in the 6 twice, 3 goes in the 3 once. That's how I'd like you to process this. I got to learn why it does that on me sometimes. Okay, going on to number 4, we're going to cross multiply again. This one I am going to use a calculator because, those are weird numbers. I don't have to. I could do it on the side, but I want to keep this video moving for you. So here we go. We're going to go 8 parenthesis x minus 1 equals, and 15 times 24 equals 360. All right, boom, boom. 8x minus 8 will equal 360. Now I'm going to add 8 to both sides. I'm trying to get letters on one side, numbers on the other. And then once I get that letter term all by itself, that's when I'm allowed to do my division. Don't do any division until that x term is by itself. X equals, well, how many times will 8 go in the 36? It'll go in 4 times because that gives you a 32, but you're going to have 4 left over. How many times will 8 go in the 48? Well, 6 times 8 is 48, so there you go. All right, let's go on to number 5 here. Cross multiply. 9x equals negative 36. All we're going to do is divide by 9, and my answer will be a negative 4. Negative times a positive is a negative. And there it went and erased on me again. There we go. All right, cross multiply. 21 times 11. That's going to get me a 231. You know what? I didn't want to start there. I'm going to start here. 7. What do I do? There we go. 7 times x minus 5 equals 231. If you don't believe me, check your calculator. 7x minus 35 equals 231. Of course you believe me, though. I would never lie to you. And then I'm going to add 35 to both sides. Boom, die. 7x equals 266. Now, once I divide by 7, I could use a calculator, but let's try this. How many times will 7 go into 27? Well, it'll go in 3 times because that's the 21 with a 5 left over. 7 goes into 56 8 times. Let's get really good on our multiplication tables. You're going to feel so confident once you do. Okay. Now, here again, cross multiply. 5, I have to put that in a parentheses whenever there's a plus or a minus. equals 4 times, well, 4 quarters is what? A buck. It's going to be 100 cents. So now here we go. We're going to distribute that through, and I'm going to get 5x minus 20 equals 100. I'm now going to add that 20 to both sides. Boom, die. 5x equals 120. Now when I divide each side by 5, boom, die. X equals 5 goes to the 12 twice with 2 left over. 5 goes to the 20 4 times. Boom. All right, going on to number 8. We're going to cross multiply. 5x equals negative 80. And once I divide by 5, x equals a negative. 5 goes into 8 once with 3 left over. 5 goes into 36 times. All right, let's keep this train moving. Let's go on to number 9 here. Cross multiply. 15 times parenthesis x plus 6 equals, that's going to be a 270. Once I multiply these through, I get 15x plus, oh boy, 6 times 15, 6 times 5. Why do I keep doing that? 6 times 5 is 30. So if I bring the 3 over, then I'm going to go 6 times 1. That's going to become a 90 equals 270. Now I'm going to subtract 90 from both sides. Boom, die. 15x equals what is 270 minus 90? That is going to be a 180, it looks like. Okay? Divide each side by 15. How many times will 15 go into 18? Well, once. I'm going to have 3 left over. How many times will 15 go into 30? Twice. Done. Number 10, we're going to cross multiply. 14 parentheses x minus 3. Do not forget that parenthesis. What's 12 times 21? I honestly don't know. But now I do. It's 256. Mr. Calculator told me. I'm going to go 14 times x and 14 times negative 3. 14x minus, 14 times 3. That smells like a 42 to me. I'm going to get a 256. Now it says minus 42. I'm going to add 42. Again, I'm just doing a two-step equation, which you guys can find in Max Tutorials Chapter 2. And I get a 14x equals 298. Wow, that's a big number. Now I'm going to multiply everybody by 14. X equals, how many times will 14 go into 29? Well, it'll go in twice. And I feel really weird about this number. That'll be 28, which will leave me 1 left over. And that doesn't go in nice and even, does it? All right, did I make a mistake somewhere? It's always good to check. 14 times x, 14 times 3 is 42. 12 times 21 is 252. Always check your work. Okay, and that becomes a 4 over here. And now it goes into 14, which is 21. All right, for everybody who saw that error before, 21 times 12. What's funny is my calculator says it too. I just transposed it in my brain when I brought it from the calculator here. So things happen. It's always good to check your work. All right, so now, again, we have to treat that like a parenthesis. 9 times 15, 9 times 5 is 45. Bring over the 4. That's a 1, 3. Boom, boom. 5x plus 10 equals 135. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides because I'm trying to get letters on one side and numbers on the other. And that looks like a nice, pretty number to deal with. 5 goes into 12 twice with 2 left over. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Boom, 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 boom. Number 12, cross multiply. Negative 7x equals whatever 6 times 28 is, and that's going to be a 168. I calculated that one. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no pride in that. That's okay. Or no shame in that. 7, well, now my answer has to be negative. 7 goes into 16 twice because it's 14, which would give me 2 left over. 7 goes into 28 4 times. Boom, 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 boom. Brrr. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, 2 more here. So this one has a lot more of these parentheses problems in version A and B. We want to make them just a little harder. Okay, 3 times 18 is going to be looks like 54 would be my guess. Let's see, 2x minus 14 equals 54. Let's move that 14 over here. Now I have my letters on one side, my numbers on the other. So now I'm allowed to divide. I wasn't allowed to divide until then. X equals 2 goes into 6 3 times, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So boom, 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 boom. And number 14, last one, we're going to cross multiply. 10 parentheses x minus 8 equals 280. Once I distribute that through, I get a 10x minus 80 equals 280. Now I want that 10x by itself, so we're just going to add my 80 to both sides, and that's going to give me a 10x equals 360. And once I divide each by 10, I get an x equals 36. Okay, so here would be your answer key. And so hopefully this went really well for you. And if so, great. If not, check out versions A and B. And that does it for solving proportions. And I'll see you guys on the next lesson. Take care.